We are loving him as a judge on X Factor. We've loved his distinctive voice, his music for years. He's still capturing the imagination of fans with the release of his new album, Here Comes the Night. What a thrill to say hello, Chris Isaak.
Yeah. Good to be with you.
It's interesting watching you just tune your guitar here. How fickle is the sound of a guitar?
Pretty fickle. You know, it's like if you're going to go out and do a rock and roll show, right as you walk on stage, if it's cold and windy backstage, you could walk out and in 2 seconds the whole guitar's out of tune. But, you know, the thing is now, modern days, you have rock and roll people, there's always somebody, you know, Larry, tune this guitar. But when you start off, for the first 10 years, there is no Larry. Yeah. It's just, Chris, tune your guitar, you're on.
I watched Cold Chisel on the weekend perform, and Ian Moss, I swear, had about 50 different guitars. It was like how Cher goes on stage and has 8 million outfits. Ian Moss kept bringing out a different guitar.
Yeah. People always ask me, they go, do you have a lot of guitars? And I do, I guess. I mean, it's like not as many as a lot. I've got like 40 guitars probably at my house. But they're crummy guitars. I adopt guitars that other people toss away and like give them a home. It's like
really,
I have like one of my favorite guitars, and I've played on a lot of records. You know, I have like guitars that are like $50 guitars that I'll play on records, and people go, you know, like, oh, is that like a 1950s Strat or something? I go, no, it's like an Italian guitar from '63 or something that was like, you know, $25.
Is it strange now that you're become the judge on this show?
I love being a judge.
The judge. But do you feel more mindful that people will be indeed judging you when you perform? Like, you've brought a guitar in here today. What if Amanda and I suddenly said, well, what have you got for us today, Chris?
Well, I'd like to play something I wrote myself. No, we're not into that. You know something? I go on the show, and every day I'm judging kids. I call them kids because they're younger than me. They're, you know, young adults, but I'm judging them and telling them, you're doing this, you're doing that. So now on the show, I had a new album out, and they said, well, come out and play your record. And I'm playing it, and I can see they're all the contestants, you know, they come out and hang out and look, okay, well, I want to see what that guy does. He's been telling us what to do. What can he do? And I was never more aware of going, I got to make this perfect. Because if I do any of the stuff that I told them don't do it, I'm going to feel terrible. So, like, I'm connecting with the audience. I make sure I hit the notes right off the bat. I hit the stage ready. It's like you're doing all these things. You're going, yep, they're teaching me too.
You know what I love, though, is this week on X Factor is we saw your heart. It was so beautiful. You were listening to Sai singing.
People say crazy things. Yeah. Just because I said it, don't mean that I meant it. Just because you heard it.
Ooh.
He's going to sell records.
That's great.
But there's
it?
Cyrus, and then we see your heart on your sleeve as you're listening to him.
I'm so proud of you. You work so hard. They don't know how hard you work.
And you were crying, and he wasn't bad. I was thinking, he's not that bad, Chris.
That's usually, I know people cry at my concerts for a different reason. Oh my God, I bought tickets to this.
But Big T, it's.
I love Big T. If you ever met Big T, I don't know how to describe him because there's nothing like him in rock and roll. I was trying to think the other day, who's like him? He looks like he looks like a football player, like a fullback or something, like a big guy. You'd hand him the ball and go, Big T, make a hole in the line and go. He's a big guy, and at first I thought, oh, he can kind of sing blues or something. He can sing anything. He can sing these high note things that you go, where's that voice come from? And then the other day I gave him an Elvis, I said, Jailhouse Rock, I said, let me see you dance. And I made him he did a whole dance routine. I go, the guy can do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm just, you know, he comes from like a background where he's been working like driving truck and stuff. And nobody's got a fire at his back like him. He does not want to go back to doing that.
No, I lived up in that part of Australia in Karratha. You know, that's where the men are men and the women are men too. And so, you know, you just want to get out there. But Chris, it's always great to see you. It's
good to be here.
Great to have you in the studio. You tuned up your guitar for...
The world was on fire. No one could save me but you. No, I don't want to fall in love. There, I got one in.
You got one in.
Beautiful.
That was,
well, the new album is called Here Comes the Night. We're just loving having you live in our country at the moment. You're such a great guy. Thanks for joining us.
I'm trying to be a good guest. I put away all my trash and I'm paying my taxes. I love it.
Oh, excellent. Chris Isaak, thank you.